It looks like they did it. Dutch farmers in the Netherlands, Holland, stormed to victory in regional elections, set to become the largest party in the Senate. Authored by Thomas Brook via Remix News on Zero Hedge by Tyler Durden, the success of the Farmer Citizen Movement, BBB, will further undermine the Dutch government's plans to impose radical agricultural reforms campaigners say will destroy rural communities. Lawmaker Caroline van der Plas, leader of the populist BBB Farmer Citizen Movement, reacts after casting her vote for the provincial elections in Ockenbroek, Eastern Netherlands, Wednesday, March 15. Voters dealt with a hammer blow to the Dutch establishment in Wednesday's regional elections, propelling the Farmer Citizen Movement, BBB, to become the largest party in the Senate in just its first election. Exit polls projected the movement will win 15 seats in the Dutch upper chamber as voters sent a clear message to Mark Rutte's government over its planned nitrogen emissions law campaigners say will devastate the country's agricultural sector. The Dutch have clearly shown that they are fed up with the policy, BBB leader Caroline van der Plas told The Telegraph Wednesday. She said, "I'm going to party. The turnaround has started, the voters have spoken and have denounced support of this government," she said. She did very well, Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte admitted, whose People's Party for Freedom and Democracy, VVD, saw its projected seats fall from the current 12 to 10. Government coalition parties did not fare much better. The Liberal Party, Democrat 66, is projected to drop a seat, as is the Christian Union Party, while the Christian Democratic Appeal Party is expected to drop 4 seats from its current 9. With a collective seat share of just 24, the government coalition has fallen well short of a majority. It now will have to rely on working with opposition parties on specific legislative proposals to push through government policy. The Senate wields considerable influence in the Netherlands, unlike many other European nations. While it cannot initiate legislation, it has the power to block government policy, and Thursday's election suggests a period of sustained political stalemate for the country. One victim of the election night was Thierry Baudet's Freedom for Democracy Party, FVD. It saw its core voter base capitulate, and it's expected to lose 10 of its 12 seats. The collapse suggests that the surge in support for BBB, the Farmers' Party, is to a large degree off the back of deep anti-government right-wing sentiment. Turnaround was 61%, up significantly by 5 percentage points in 2019, suggesting the BBB Farmers' Party managed to galvanize disenfranchised voters as the movement stormed to victory, almost every province to have already declared an outcome. The election results followed the recent Rabobank survey that revealed just 1% of Dutch citizens believe the country is clearly heading in the right direction. Everybody else believes that the country is not, while 86% of respondents were pessimistic about the country's trajectory. The rise of the Farmers' Party, BBB, over the past 2 years has been a response to the government's plans to appease EU nitrogen emissions targets by imposing radical agricultural reforms. It introduced plans last year to reduce livestock numbers by a third, while farmers have also been told their lands could be subject to compulsory buyouts. The policy results in agricultural workers staging several demonstrations against the government, blocking motorways and supermarket distribution centers in mass protests last year. And at a recent demonstration in The Hague ahead of the elections, over 10,000 Dutch farmers came to hear campaigners speaking out against the government plans. "We are fighting against a corrupt and unjust government," Eva Vlaardingerbroek, a prominent campaigner in defense of the farmers, told attendees. She spoke of a government that drives our farmers from their land, she said, and that has turned on its own population. The planned reductions affected Dutch agriculture and have been described by industry leaders as so severe that rural communities will be totally devastated economically. Those were the words of Sander van Diepen, spokesperson for the Dutch Horticultural Association last year. Wednesday's election victory does not guarantee success against government plans, but with support from JA21 and Geert Wilders' PVV party, the farmers' movement will be able to establish a solid bloc of opposition to the government policy and seek to frustrate the process. And let's remember that Holland also supplies the European Union with 40% of its produce, meat and dairy products. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box